Okay, everybody. So I'm here today to kind of provide an overview and basically a plan or a foundation for how we're going to continue our instruction into the future. So I just want to say before we get this started, this plan is not etched in stone. This is kind of the best that we've come up with at this point, and I would highly anticipate that there's going to be some changes along the way. All right, so just a couple of brief things to help get you guys started, and then we'll see how this works with some feedback, and we'll make some changes if need be. So a couple of things that I want to cover. First and foremost, you guys should download Google Chrome onto your devices, whether you have a school laptop or you have a Chromebook. Google Chrome is probably going to be your best bet and your safest bet for all of this. So if you simply go to Google, download Google Chrome if you don't have it, that's pretty simple, and there's plenty of YouTube videos if you don't know how to do that. I'm not going to show that process. I would not recommend doing what we're about to do with Microsoft Edge. I think that you'll have problems. So Google Chrome, download that, please. The second thing that I'm going to want you to do is, if you've not done that, whether you're on your school laptop or a home computer, you should log into Google with your user login. Now, some of you may already have Google accounts at home, and that's fine, but for what we're doing for our school content, I'm going to want you to use your school account. And so what we can do is click the waffle iron, as I call it here, and if you're logged into another account, this is going to look different than if you've not logged in at all. If you click this, you'll see a sign in, and you would sign in with your username. So if you're an 8th grader, it will be 24 last name first name at seal-pa.org. You're obviously not going to type that into the search bar here, but instead you're going to put it into the sign in here. So your username would be 24 last name first name at seal-pa.org. Your password would be your school password. If you are a 7th grader, this would be 25. If you're a 6th grader, this would be 26. So this is your year of graduation. That's how you can remember that. All right, password is just your school login password. So that should get you logged into Google. If you have multiple accounts, as I do here, and I have other accounts as well too, I can switch back and forth between these pretty seamlessly. So there I am in my school account. The nice thing about this is that in here you can see your Google Drive, you can see Google Classroom. We can utilize a lot of Google's other features like chat and meet. They have a Hangouts, which is really cool. We can video conference in there too, and I'm not going to count any of those things out as we move forward. But in any case, Google is the first thing that I want you to get logged into. The second thing I want you to get logged into is if you open another tab and you just literally type teams.microsoft.com, and it will add some other stuff here, of course. This will bring you into Microsoft Teams, and any class that you are currently enrolled in, you are able to see right here. If a teacher has sent you a class code, you can click join or create a team. If you want to do a class code, you can just put the class code in here, and you're automatically enrolled in that team within Microsoft Teams. Okay. And so some teachers are going to be using Microsoft Teams. Some are going to be using Google Classroom. I'm up in the air right now. I actually have all of my 4th marking period classes set up in Microsoft Teams. You can actually see them here, but I'm contemplating utilizing Google Classroom just because of the convenience that I have with some of the other classes. So you can see that I have not put those in yet. I'm up in the air on that, but Google Classroom, Microsoft Teams. Here's another thing that's going to be very important. Oh, one other thing, bookmark these. So if you haven't bookmarked these, you can just click these and click the little star and it'll bookmark them. It'll either, if you don't have a lot of bookmarks, it'll put it here. If you have a bunch of bookmarks, I'm not going to click this, but these go all the way down the right side of my screen. So Google Classroom, Microsoft Teams. This is something else that you're going to want to add. So if you type launchpad.classlink.com /seals, and you have to make sure it's a / and not a /, it's going to bring you up to ClassLink. You should be able to just put your username in here. So again, if you're an 8th grader, 24 last name, first name. If you're a 7th grader, it'd be 25 last name, first name. If you're a 6th grader, it'd be 26 last name, first name, and your normal password, and you can click sign in. You may actually be able to do it with Google as well, since Google is linked to our page. Let's see if we can do that. Nope, don't do that. So the username that I told you about and the password, let's try that now. There we go. So that's going to be successful. So there are a number of different links to some programs on here, and I'm not going to go through each and every one of these. The one that is very important for me and for you guys and for a lot of people in our district is the remote application link. So if you go ahead and you click that, it does take a moment. You're going to put your username in, and it's the username with your email address now. So to get into ClassLink, there was no @seal-pa.org. For remote desktop, there is. So it's your username @seal-pa.org, same password, and click sign in. And that is going to give you a number of different programs. So the really cool thing about this is if you have a Chromebook and you can't run Photoshop on a Chromebook unless you have the remote desktop web client, and then if you click this is going to pop up. You click allow, and it will actually virtually launch Photoshop from within that web browser, which is pretty incredible. So we'll just be patient. And not only does it do that, it actually gives you access to all of the drives that you can normally see in school. So like oops, hang on one second. That's interesting. So let me hit cancel. Oh, I know why it's doing that. So I'll get back to that a little bit later, but the bottom line is I utilize, you only get so many software licenses with with Adobe, and I've already got it installed on 2 of my computers, so that's why it's done that. So not necessarily a great example for now. So I'll come back and I'll show the workaround with that in another video. For now, one thing that should work for me, SolidWorks, I hope, cross your fingers. I've used it a number of different times before, and SolidWorks is a really memory intensive program, and yeah, there we go. So not only does SolidWorks open, if you go to File, Open, so I was grading Leah's assignment last, so that's what's showing up in the students folder here. But if I go to this PC and I browse down to my Z drive, I can open any of my files from my Z drive. And I'm not going to do that right now either. This is just kind of like an overview. So let me go back to all resources. The other thing that I did want to show you guys was the drive file stream. And it actually opened when I clicked one of the other programs. And this is essentially like clicking the File Explorer on your computer. And it just allows you to have access to all of your drives. You should also have access to Google Drive as well. And I'm not sure about OneDrive. I actually think if you go back to ClassLink, and it's in here somewhere. I don't remember where that's at, but that'll be in one of my other videos as well too. So I want you guys to play around with this and just familiarize yourself with it. And don't get too terribly overwhelmed with it. This is going to be a work in progress, as I said, and I will follow up with some other activities. And for those of you that are part of my Microsoft Teams class, just know that I'm really leaning towards opening Google Classroom too, because of all of the other resources that we have with Google. So just be aware of that, and if so, I will post that information on my Teams site as well. And hang in there. Have a good day. I'm going to go take a mountain bike ride right now, and You guys enjoy the weekend, and we just stay safe and stay at home and have the best weekend you can. Take care.